All right, it says we're loading. I'm checking on my phone to see if we're on, if we're live. I think we're live now. Yeah, we should be. Okay, perfect. Great. Um, Hi there. I'm at my daughter's cheerleading camp this week, and there are a few parents around the room working on their laptops too, but I angled my desk towards the very lovely black wall just so no cheerleading athletes or parents would be on this live stream with me. And let me mute something. Hold on. Where am I hearing myself? Right there. I don't want that to play. All right, perfect. Okay. Cool. So this is the slide that I'm going to be working on, and this is a real slide from a webinar that I gave a couple weeks ago. I changed the name of the diagnosis, but this is data that the presenter, the attendee in my presentation said that it was okay to share and work on. And these are slides, or this is one of several of his slides. So it doesn't exactly need to be a standalone document. It needs to be a slide for a presentation that the speaker is going to be talking through. And the speaker wasn't thrilled with the picture. This was about a particular uh, psychiatric, mental health condition. And, he wasn't in love with the picture. Somebody else had picked it out for him and he was okay with changing it. And then, of course, I saw all of these bullet points and stats and I was like, let's make a graph. So these are some ideas that I have so far. And who knows, maybe I'll come up with some new ideas or maybe I'll get stuck there TBD. And I've got about an hour to work on this till I need to do cheerleading camp pickup for my daughter. All right, so let's start with a bar chart with arrows. Then we'll do some small multiples, donuts and waffles. And then I think the funnel chart is going to be the winner. I mean, let's see. I think this is going to be the winner. Sometimes I like to start with the winner, but I really like to work nice and methodical, going through like the most obvious ideas down to more and more creative. That's very much on purpose. Okay, so let's grab these stats and put them in a table. So we need and something interesting about this too is like it's a range of percentages here and here and here. And I haven't worked on a project like that before. So we'll see. I think what I'm going to do is graph the average and then have the call out box say what the exact percentage is, I think. Okay. Let's see. So we need to know the the location and the percent. So in the general population, it is it's going to be 5 to 13%. But I think I'm going to average these and graph that, I think. Primary care, 30%. Secondary care, and okay. Let's stay nice and organized. Let's do some easy branding. And just a little bit more of Anne Emery organization right here. Okay. Idea one is bar chart with arrows. So we're going to graph this. Oh, let's flip this upside down. Um, I wanted to go from like least restrictive up to most. And you know what? I might do a stacked bar chart actually. Yeah, I think I want to do a stacked to show what percent don't have this particular mental health condition. And then, oops, that's clustered. Okay, let's change it to a stacked. I just want a little subtlety of the people who don't have it. Not subtlety in a competing dark color, but subtlety in a gray, because the people who don't have it are that's the sidekick. That's not the main character. Okay, let's do a white outline. Oops, this isn't supposed to be formatted. All right, let me unformat this one. This one. Let's just do some light formatting, like a 1 minute format. This is going into a slide, so it gets to be about that big. Yeah, about that big. Oops, wrong. I got these flip-flopped. 5 by 10. And at least 0.18 font is my preference, and dark. It looks hugely huge on here, but again, this is going into PowerPoint. Let's adjust the gap width. My preference is 30. Let's add percentages here, but we're not going to add the exact percentages. We're going to do a value from cells and add these guys. Whoa, why is that not clicking on the right cell? These. I think that's okay. I graph the average, but I label the other one. Okay. I think those labels aren't going to fit there. So let's actually delete that and add them over here. And then do a value from cells again. And have those fill in, not the gray. We're going to put them inside the base, and then we're going to color code them to match the bar. So it's obvious what goes with what. And then we're going to lighten this even more like that. The scale only needs to have the min and max. So the max and the major units are going to match. And then I'm going to add a tick marks right here and add a line in gray. And then take off the grid lines, take off that vertical line. And then the arrow I wanted to, oh, that hangs over. That's super annoying. Let's text wrap this one. Should we text wrap all of them? Psychiatric services, Alt Enter, force a line break, secondary care, primary care, general population. Oh, that centered alignment. I hate. Why does it do that? Um, we will worry about that later because I don't think this is the winning chart type anyway. Let's make sure we're still correctly live. Okay, we are. It looks like we're live. Yeah. Okay, great. I need to undo a couple more times. Undo, undo. Maybe this will get wrapped. I don't know. Then it fits better. If I wrap one, should I wrap all of them? That can always be adjusted. Okay, let's add an arrow. Do I want to add an arrow up to more like least restrictive environments, general population, or down, focusing on inpatient care? I don't know what primary and secondary care are, but I do know this goes in order of like what type of care setting is best for people with this mental health diagnosis. I think going down seems so negative though, doesn't it? Insert shape. That's the point of the live stream, is to think through all of this live with all of you. Is it something like that? In a gray, and we want it straight. So 0 here. And what are the correct words for this? Correct words would be like, gosh, I'm not a mental health expert. Something like, is it like specialized care? Are those the right words? This is like, not that a prison is specialized care. That's not the right word. It's something like this. More specialized care settings. Something like that. That would be slide font size. Would that be bold so it stands out? This really needs to wrap. I really, really need to wrap. What if oh my gosh, I'm gonna do something so cheating. Feels so unsexy to do this. What if I I could do a text box, obviously. Um, like that. I want that to go over there. I want my arrow to be straight. Okay. Um, psychiatric services, line break, and prisons, all right aligned. What if I do space, 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 space? What does that look like? Did that do anything? No, kind of. I want it to be not centered. I want it to be Alt Enter. What if I do spaces here? Yes. Okay. Gosh, this feels so unglamorous to do it that way. Doesn't that look so perfectly aligned right there? Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so it's an Alt Enter with a spacebar, 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 spacebar. When I say spacebar, I'm thinking in my mind of space. That's what I say to myself. Okay, this is decent. Should that line? I don't know. I don't know what the wording is here. I don't know if that should be bold. Maybe it should just be italicized. Maybe this should go the other way. I think that's good enough for the first one. Okay, what is our next idea? We did a bar chart with arrows plus a stacked bar. I'm going to count that as a separate chart type. Small multiples donuts. That doesn't show the progression. I don't love that one. Let's do it anyway. Okay. Let's see. This is gonna be I might have to change the way this table is arranged and sorted. So I'm probably gonna have to remake this table a couple times. Okay, so that's just the table for the bar charts. Let's grab this table again because it might have to look a little different for a donut chart. Idea 3, small multiples donuts. Again, I don't necessarily love it, but you know who loves donuts? Like all the non-data people. They love donuts. So it kind of doesn't matter if I like them or not. We do need the real percent and the gray section. Would we need the label there? Would we have to order them? I don't know. Which one do we want to go first? This one, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one? Maybe we're making a slide. So let me grab where our slide's going to go. Think about this layout a little bit. We are going to do a new slide. Actually, let's do it like the title only. This is the after ideas. This is prevalence of the XYZ diagnosis. The whole presentation is about the XYZ diagnosis. So really, that is the most important part. I can't stand these floating titles in the middle. Let me adjust the slide master ever so slightly. Move it up there. I usually make these just 1 inch tall and spread them across. Great. And then I'm going to do a design. In real life, this guy would use his university colors for his presentation, but I'm not going to worry about branding. And also, this is, he gave me permission to share like his exact slide, but I want to like halfway anonymize it for him. Okay, great. Before, after. Do we want 4 donuts going across? Do we want like this? 1, 2, 3, 4? Or do we want, I think that's the winner. Or would we do a 1, 2, 3, 4? I don't think that's going to fit the space as much. I think we have width. Also, I want to do the arrow kind of showing like the funnel, the filtering of least restrictive, more restrictive care settings. So yeah, let's not do that. Let's do 4 across. Okay. And I don't know which way we're going to go. Are we going to go from general population this way? Yeah, left to right, right? Okay. Let's make that gray, make it straight and not kittywampus. Maybe make it like that wide. Maybe make it, I say maybe, not maybes. These are not maybes. Let's do a something like that. Can we add any icons to these? I was hoping so, but I don't think so. Would you do like general population has a bunch of people? No. This? No. I mean, I know there, what kind of cheesy, insensitive stuff does it give us for prison? No, I'm not gonna, no, we're talking about human beings, so we can't make it cheesy. Okay. Um, we are gonna do, yeah, let's make our 4 donuts. General, primary, secondary, psychiatric services, and prisons. Oh, it's hard to click on all these. These are going to be how wide? Should we center them? I don't usually center, but above donut charts, centering does look quite nice. What were these spacing be? How big is that donut going to be? The whole thing is 13 inches wide. Let's just round that down to 12 for ease. And we want some white space on the side. So we want um, it's 12, not 333. We need white space. 2.5? 2.5 inches wide? A 2.5 by 2.5 donut? Insert a donut. Declutter. Oop. Where should we put the label? Value from cells. This. Oops, I clicked off something. Value, no. Oh, it doesn't let us do value from cells. You have to be clicked on both of them. No, no, no. Labels. Value from cells, that. Okay. And what if I put that in the, oh, what if I put that in the center? Is it going to stay centered? Let's do slightly smaller donut hole size like that, maybe. I don't know if this is going to stay centered. I might just use text boxes on the PowerPoint slide. What did we say, about 2.5? That looks too small. I think I can actually make it 3 because there is white space around there. Let's take a peek. Yeah, that's too small. Let's just make it a 3. 3 by 3. What if we make that, is that going to stay centered when I copy paste these? This should each be 3 inches wide. Those should go down more. Let's align them like this. Oops.
Stand up. And like, let's just play around. What do you think we do with that? To just do? Okay, I if it was wrong now.
Okay. Can we copy paste? Copy, paste. I think I have my template correct. Let's see. Let's see if the label floats around and moves.
So, I just asked her if you were.
Everything gets all gross. Of course it does.
So not that I'm not gonna be here Monday or
Hmm.
Tuesday.
I'm not we're not big for the next week.
That's right. That's why I didn't bother charging. But I will be here
Wednesday.
for a.
Yeah, so she's on Jazz and she's on Ariel to meet.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
18,
Cool.
purple, bold, in here. I don't like how I have to eyeball the centering on there. I'm not gonna do these labels. They're already a headache. Oh, that makes the donut bigger too. Okay, that's better. I think that's better. Okay, so that's the first one. Second one,
Front areas or
third one,
Have you seen it?
45%.
Are they like,
I think it's great.
All I have to do is change it to gray. Great. Yeah, I don't love this one, but other people will. Ooh, maybe when I'm done figuring out these 5 or 6 ideas, I should make a YouTube video kind of synopsis, like a 5-minute overview of saying like, here's the ideas. And then you should vote on which one is your favorite. Yes. Okay.
when you were awesome.
1, 2, 3, 4. Copy.
When Joe's actually like, we'll do it.
Yeah.
She had that.
Paste. I only have the purple there to keep everything aligned and kind of guess how I want them laid out.
Well, 2 coaches working a little bit
Oops,
different.
oops. I don't want to move the inside border.
He usually has her after me anyway, and so those drills are super fresh. And then you go apply it. Some of the things, the versions of the drills, maybe to apply it a little bit, but it's not the same as.
Where do I want to put the labels? On the inside or right below?
Drill seems more realistic.
Maybe the arrow belongs down here.
Okay.
Does the arrow go through? I don't know.
Weights, she like.
I think the percentages should go on the inside, so it's not so lonely. I just don't like how, oh, you know what? These are all going to be slides, so I should have pasted the bar chart into here too.
So they're too much confidence, like, here's my 20%,
Yes.
like.
Did I make it the right font sizes? I think so. Where are you? Here you are.
Now we're in close to table. Or they.
Oh, that gets to be so much wider, doesn't it? Go away, AI.
Yeah.
Go away. Okay.
And so we talked about. Never was.
See how the endpoints are so easy to compare? You compare this endpoint to this one, to this one, to this one, where these are like, it's like this endpoint, and then your eye has to go over here, and then I don't know. Just don't. You should stop bashing my own chart. This gets to be a lot wider, doesn't it? It could really be like that wide.
It was very much.
Yeah.
Ended up being very much. Probably, and I was like, this side. I mean.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
But it's so.
I don't know if this term is correct, but let's do it. And you know what? I shouldn't capitalize it because that's not like an official industry term. That's just Anne's guess on the term.
So you're not, you know.
Maybe this is our
Well,
takeaway. Does the arrow go on the right so that all the takeaway stuff is next to that?
And then she walks away and she comes back, she didn't come down.
yeah.
And then it's just like, you know.
I don't love the line breaks here.
Fucking like. Break that. You know,
Hopefully, but I really think she feel better. But if
she said that the other day, after she was in she was just standing there with you, she said she was doing some things that were really good.
Maybe that's the takeaway.
Mhm.
Yeah. That go up there.
actually feel where she feel a little bit more strength, but still,
Well, she hasn't worked now, I don't know, like team of workouts and you take like his workouts.
yeah. She's actually fitness part right now, sure, but it's have to. Run it overall a little bit.
That was so like just so the whole time and like, you know, like she wasn't getting it, she was never finding out, you know, and I'm like, stop it. You.
Let's add some percentages.
We'll work on it, sure. Ashley, good job.
She leaves tomorrow and is gone for a week and a half to stay with best friend, so.
Let's get the,
Yeah.
actually, I'll leave them like this. Okay, what's our first number? It is 5 to 13. $30. 40 to 50. 70 to 90.
Are you doing that thing with December? And then it's fall and it's the but I don't know. So. Yeah, so. I'm going.
Is it weird that it's more common and it's going down? Shouldn't that go up? But I want to like start with general population. It's kind of annoying how those little details are what sticks in my mind and bothers me. I think, should that be aligned to the top of the bar? Like these? No, it should be like that. Something like that. Should it be a sentence? Good enough. Good enough for now. Okay, we've got the bar chart, the donut. I'm gonna make a waffle too. Waffle is going to be a very similar layout to this one. That's why I spent some time kind of fiddling with this one. It'll probably be more like this. Can I fit 4 little waffles down below? Do I want to do waffles with squares or circles? I feel like circles make your eyes feel kind of funny. It's 2:10. What do I have time to make? Do I have time to make a waffle? Yeah. Waffles with squares. Ten by 10. I could do this fancy with conditional formatting. That would be a lot more fun, but time-wise, I don't think I have time to figure out with fiddle with linked conditional formatting.
Last week, it's not so bad. For different school, big body, like. So, the Sunday, like.
Delete, 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 delete. Smush.
Yeah, so they split, so they can be with day, and so I get.
Square. Color. Outline. Oops, not the background color. Although we do want to get rid of the background outline. Okay. Should I have done one this way? Yeah, I should have.
So there was like Disney.
Whoops. Change chart type. Let's do a column instead. All right.
We all gym all day, also the gym part. So we lost it.
Gray, white. Whoops, where's my white?
People have a picture book.
Gray, white. Gray, white. Gray, white. Gray, white. Technically, this one is a
It's one thing at a gym, but you get into a park, that is something, yeah. Overwhelming.
bloop.
And big-
Gray, white. Gray, white.
Yeah, that's.
Gray, white. Gray, white. Gray, white. What's our first percentage? It is, we're graphing what, 9?
I don't think we'll let them be there. Yeah, they said that one's on that real fast. I'm like, yeah, I asked my friend who.
And then we're graphing 30. I think this is the best one to turn into a GIF.
It's for social learning and like how to. How to fill in those and like that. Yeah, keep that in a minute.
For a little boost of humanity, should I, instead of talking about percentages, be talking about whole numbers of human beings? Like instead of 30%, 30 out of 100 people? Yeah, I should be. Oh, I hate that I just thought about that now as I'm making what, the 3rd or 4th design. Oh well, that's real life. Okay, what's the next one I'm graphing? 45 and 80. Great. Nice, easy numbers. One, two,
Well,
three,
it's, I think that was.
4. It feels a little funny to graph the average of these two, but I think it is good enough because we also have the words. And I don't think the exact number that of people who have this XYZ diagnosis really is the star of the show. I think the star of the show is where it's more common, what type of setting. That wasn't bad. What time did I start? 2:10 making this one? Little 5-minute slide. I think that's very respectable. That one's gonna go like there. That one's gonna be centered under there. Why don't you want to center? I don't know. It's very hard to do without my mouse. You need to center there. Did you center? Are you centered? There you are.
It's just like somebody's doing something on that. Oh my God. It's literally so many skin and body.
That one's good. Are we good? Now we are. This is where I lean back and look at it with fresh eyes.
And then trying to get. Moving. Yeah, yeah. My, most of that, I'm yes. Think of it. Just stand.
30, 45, 80. This mismatch is painfully obvious. I almost feel like now I need a footnote or something. I feel like the hardcore data people and research people are gonna not like that. I like this one for the speed of making it. The non-technical people, the regular people, the everyday people who care about the topic but not about data, right? They're not spreadsheet people. They're gonna like the donuts. You know what? A lot of people don't like waffles as their favorite. Should I do a waffle with circles? As long as we're in here? Do I have enough time? I really just want to make a funnel chart. Let's do it. Let's do it. Because I think it's going to be pretty easy. Famous last words. Let's just make it the old school way. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, no, not caps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Copy, paste, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower, delete. Webdings. Gray. 9. Looks like junk on this one because of the red underline, but on here, looks okay. The kerning needs to be wider. Let's adjust the kerning before we copy paste. Kerning, where are you? Character spacing, kerning. Can we do it like a little bit wider? That did nothing. Let's try by a whole one. What does that do? That looks better. Do we need the space to be closer? What size is it? These are 18s. But it gave us a 21 space. Let's do an 18. That's too close and smushy. Let's do a 19. So there's just a little breathing room. Maybe just a hair more kerning. Let's try a 2-point kerning. Is that better? I don't know. Now there's too much white space. Your eyes do that thing. I remember learning about in Psych 101 back in college. It's like your eye makes up little gray lines, but in the white space where there's not supposed to be gray lines. For this one, it doesn't. Well, you know what? It's such a quick try. I think it's worth having. Oh, is this too big?
That's all right.
Is my centered?
We bring stuff, we're very flexible.
Why can't I center this? Is that centered? It is. Okay. That's too close. It can't be 18. Can it be 16? That means my paragraphs have to be maybe 17.
When I'm on the Like, I don't even know what it's bad, so it's bad.
Okay.
I'm here.
This is 30. Again, this is so quick. I think it's worth a try, right? It is nice to have multiples side by side by side. Is that centered? Purple. Purple. I really just want to make a funnel. I said I was going to work till 2:30, but can't pick up is until 3. So got some time. One slight variation on this that I definitely considered for this one and this one. For waffles, it's easier to do. Wait, that is close. Should those go down farther? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That looks better, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. One variation I tried was, or I was thinking about in my mind earlier today, was like you color in like 70% in darker purple, and then maybe you use like a lighter purple to color in the 90. In my mind, I was hesitant, and now when I see it, I'm like, no, I think that's really confusing to people. It makes it look like two different categories. Okay, no, let's delete that. Okay, that was worth a 10-second try. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? I guess technically the first version was the regular bar chart, which would literally just be, oops, not blue. I meant to click on white. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Which one's your favorite so far? This one's so boring, but I don't love the others. I think I would like these more if they had icons with them. I just think given the topic area, I can't do icons for present. I just can't. I don't want to make light of this very serious mental health diagnosis, and I don't know what these would be. Is this like a doctor's office? And that's like inpatient care, like you stay overnight, but isn't that psychiatric service? I don't know what these mean. I don't know. Not not every project lends itself well to icons, and this one I don't think does. Let's make a funnel, which actually I haven't made before in Excel. These are newer chart types available since like 2018, I think. It's just a bar chart that's going to be centered, so it looks like a funnel. Or will it be a backwards funnel? I don't know. Again, I don't know which way to make this go. It's literally just a bar chart, but instead of all lining up on the left, they're centered. And I am going to grab, I guess, this table. Okay. What are we going to put in it? This, insert a, where is it? This one? No. This one, this one. There it is. Funnel. See what I mean? It's just centered. Do I want the words to go on the left, or would I want the words to go on the label? I don't know. Let's see. Unformatted. Let's see what we can do to help this guy along. Okay, let's make it bigger and bigger and legible and decluttered. and darker and legible. And that is probably decent enough. Again, I'm just thinking about the, oh, should it go upside down? Can I do it this way? No, I think it should go the other way. Oh yeah, it's not a funnel. It's a reverse funnel. A traditional funnel would be you start with this many people and then you filter out and you filter out and you filter out. And we have a flippy floppy, an inverse. So does that still make sense? Don't we need to visualize the inverse too? I'm not going to put the words on here because general population is not going to fit right there. Oh, but I do need to put the correct labels. Let's see if this new chart type has the label from cells. I don't think it does. It doesn't. Okay, but I can type in here directly maybe. I hate doing this because I like making everything linked in case I want to automate it later. And I want to just type in here. Can I? No. Don't want to use one of these. Oops, where'd that go? Ew, text boxes feel so clunky here, but we might have to use them. Can I grab the text boxes I already have in PowerPoint? Yeah. Okay. That feels not great across two lines. Um, okay. I try to make everything at least size 18. I'm gonna make these like 16 just so I don't have to do a line break on them. Okay, I think that's worth the trade-off. Like that it's still a little tight. I think these words being over here is junk. These words go on the side. Maybe we turn the first one into a sentence just to make sure it's super readable and understandable. What's the last one? It's in psychiatric services and prisons. Starting to be that everything is bold. And the rule of thumb is if everything's bold, nothing stands out. So what do I really need to bold here? Is it the percent or the setting? Percent would be like this, but I think it's the setting. I think if I had to choose, it's the setting. Um, you know what would make this better graphic design and more, I should say, friendly for a general audience, like a little bit infographic-y would be the number is its own text box and it's big. These are separate text boxes. Ew, I hate having this many text boxes. Okay, these are purple and big. Like that big? And like that?
Well, can you get my answers that I'll down it, and I want to class after twice.
No. I'll try and look for that.
Line middle. Line middle. Does this kind of look like a cascading effect? Does this make sense or is this worse? Align middle. Move both these down. Um, Move those up. I don't know if this is better. Am I just junking it up now? This is just so big. That looks terrible. Let's just see what it looks like in PowerPoint before we hate it too much. It's going to be too wide. I'm going to have to resize everything. Oops. All right. I don't, we almost need two funnels.
Okay.
I have another idea.
I got the back.
My grid lines on. I always like to leave some like a little bit like that much white space. Do you see where this is starting? And I try to make the title, it just fits on that top area, and then I leave that much white space. Do you see how that's on purpose? It's like that much white space. Otherwise, it gets too smushy. What if these go in the top and these go underneath? What pattern does this show? That it's a smaller to larger thing? Like this doesn't fit. Okay. Yeah, let's put these underneath. Like that. Left align everything. Isn't that basically what I just had in the text box to start? All the ideas come full circle. It doesn't need to be two text boxes. It's just all text boxes everywhere. You know, I know designers don't mind, but as a data person, I'm like, ugh, text boxes. That's better. I think these can't be bold. I think there's too much bolding going on. Is that better? No, I don't love this one. I thought I was really gonna like the funnel. Okay. That helps. It looks so busy, doesn't it? Maybe I should have made this smaller. Yeah, I'm not loving this. I really wish the text boxes just could go on top, but they don't. This one's too small, you know? Like, here's what I mean on top, like over top of this thing. It doesn't work for this one. Okay. Now I need to very carefully make all of this wider. Oh my gosh, this is why I hate text boxes. Gross. Oh, I hate doing this. It feels terrible. Come on, Anne, you can do it. Stop complaining. Are those aligned? I've spent all my time today working with text boxes. Come on, Anne, you can do it. It's just text boxes. Don't let them get you down. Okay. Still a little bit too close. Feels like it should be centered, and it's not. Feels yucky. It feels imbalanced, doesn't it? They really need to go on top. But how does that one fit? I don't know. I don't know. And then here's what I mean about inverse. It's really a, it's really a, I wish I had numbers for like how many people, 350 million Americans? I don't know. Like, I wish I had a number. I wish I had a number for this. I wish I had a number for this. Is this 100,000 people? Is this 5 million people? Like, I wish I had data, more data than what the slide has, because then I could do more visuals. I could have two funnels, like two pyramids inverted next to each other. Um, it would be like, can I make up some numbers? It would be a part to whole pattern. Okay, this is the percent with XYZ, and this is the number in, this is like the number in that setting. And pretend you knew it was like this. And let me just make up some numbers.
I love you.
This is where the GIF comes in, which I don't have time to make today, but you'll have to imagine in your mind for me. It would be like a waffle chart or just an area chart showing like of the general population, it's this percent of people.
Oh, that's so nice.
And then you see the second one, it's a slightly smaller square. Of primary care, it's this population. Of secondary care, it's this percent. Of psychiatric services, it's this percent. And you either lay them out on 4 separate slides and the speaker clicks through them one at a time and talks about them, or you lay them out on different slides, save as a GIF, and it's a looping image that can be embedded in a slide deck or in a website. Okay, let me just show you the general idea of the funnels. I don't know what primary care means. I'm doing this just for fun. If this was a real consulting project, obviously I would call up the client and I would ask, and we would have tons and tons of discussions about this. This is literally like a real person in a class about a week and a half ago. He had one of these slides, and I was like, is it okay with you if I make that in a YouTube video? Because I need like an hour of fiddling time. I don't just need like 10 minutes during Q&A time in the class. Like, I would love to make this for you. And I volunteered myself to make it. If this was like a real thing that I had a contract for and was being paid for, obviously I would know the ins and outs of primary care, secondary care. So I'm kind of having to just guess here. Let me just guess. I have no idea what he's on. I'm just trying to make an inverted pyramid for you real quick. Okay, look, if this was where did I find my funnel? Here. And then it's this and another one. I'm gonna select that and that and holding down the wrong key. Okay, control. Insert a second one right here. Here's what I mean. It's some version of this. These are percentages though. I wish I had numbers here. Like these need to be related.
Pick up the oh, cool. They're bottom. No, it's one little.
I wish I had numbers.
Put it in the bag. Why don't you go through that bag?
I was also thinking loosely about another project I'm working on of doing a bubble chart. Where are my bubbles here? Doing some bubble charts to represent different sizes. Bubble charts using area of circles work really well when you have a drastic difference from one category to the next, not like 5% versus 6%. But if you have like an 80% versus a 9%, and there's a big difference, because bubble charts aren't good for specificity. Area in general isn't good for being like very like nuanced differences, but area is good if there's a big difference, 80% versus 9%. So there could be some like bubble design. Do you kind of get the idea here? There's something here I don't have the data for, and I don't have the background knowledge about the care settings to be able to do, but I think that would be like, these need to be kind of side by side or in one. Here, I will draw what I was going to make.
Right. Okay.
And then I have to go pick up my daughter from camp. This is the GIF idea or the multiple slides. I will just, yeah, let's just do a draw time-wise. Okay. So slide 1. I guess I could just draw this in PowerPoint. Slide 1 would talk about,
Yeah.
yeah, I should just do it on PowerPoint. What am I doing?
So, well, since you guys are gonna do the birthday party Saturday, Sunday, you have to check on the weekend, right? So when you guys decide.
That's the star of this slide. And
You
you would have
Day, but you don't have to take off another day. And like, yeah.
of the 350 million Americans, or of the X number of Americans 18 plus, or maybe it's not Americans, maybe it's North Americans, whatever it is, it's sized proportionally. It's like this many people. Which is equal to blah de blah percent.
But you're only doing it one night, right? Well, it's probably gonna be on a Sunday because her cousin will be Sunday morning to head back to California. So. Okay. They're gonna leave like bright and early, because they have like.
Maybe this is like,
Once they're gone, I can always call you and see what you're doing.
what is it?
I-
529%.
Probably gonna skip it.
That is
To make it fair for.
big,
one
bold,
full half.
big, 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 big,
Yeah.
something like that.
So, but,
And then you go to the next slide, the speaker clicks, or at the end, they're gifted together. And this is
okay. Well, fine. Oh my God. Wow, it's like.
primary care of the blah, 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 blah people in primary care. This many, okay, but then look, this is smaller, right? And this might get a little smaller. It's size to the number of people. And what's this number? 30%?
Yeah, I mean, so you have
Something like that.
some.
I think you would graph the number and you'd say the percent, something like that. Does that make sense? Kind of a funnel. And then let me just do the rest because this should be easy. Famous last words. And then I really have to do can't pick up. Secondary care. And that's small. This is what I mean by like the inverted funnels, right? These numbers need to be compared to each other. And what was this number? It was like 40 to 50%. These aren't proportional. I wish I had the numbers so I could make it proportional.
Well,
And then,
so we.
can I make this smaller? Maybe that's I don't know what secondary care means. Psychiatric services and prisons.
Oh, my.
I hate that spacing gets different. Oops.
It's gonna be something right now, you're not even saying, I'm gonna go. So, yeah. Okay, that's what I'm she wouldn't. Thing about. Well, I'm not, but I'm pretty sure I think. And I'm like, this all been talking. I'm just joking. And so, but. In the day. I mean, I think for all their something. But.
Maybe it's
I feel supported that.
prisons. Maybe it's just like that. Keep it simple. But like, remember, these numbers are getting smaller each time. You know what I mean? What was this one? 70 to 90%, I think was the number. Imagine these text boxes like fit on here though. That's the GIF idea, which I can't do because I don't have the real numbers, but you would see how the universe changes, the denominator changes, the gray, and you would see how the number in the box, number of diagnoses, changes. And then you'd proportionally be able to see how that percentage changes. And then you would click through it either one at a time. And your speaking points would be something like, in the general population, you know, we've got this many people. And then maybe you click and then like this shows up or something. And then you click and you say, and here's how it compares to primary care. It's fewer people, but percentage wise, it's a bigger percentage then, you know, and you'd see like the differences as you clicked and clicked and clicked.
So but I know from measure. Really, from line. I don't. So I'm like.
Maybe this one's like really small. I don't know.
Like, yeah.
Something like that.
That was like 12:30 now. Yep, sure, it's like, how about, fine.
Okay, let's do a recap because I've been talking to myself on this live stream for a long time. And I'll timestamp this recap too so that you all can see it. Hopefully my Zoom screens aren't in the way for you though. Hide these, hide this. Okay. So to recap the past hour and 20 minutes, this was the before slide from somebody who attended a webinar that I gave a couple weeks ago, and he didn't love it. He was open to changing the picture right here. He didn't want anything too dumbed down or simplistic because he was talking about a very specific mental health diagnosis, and he didn't want to like dumb it down or make it too childish. He wanted to give it like the weight and respect that this topic deserves. These are the real percentages though, and I wanted to bring the percentages to life with data viz too. So I told him, this is a bigger question than I can like answer. Like, I think I gave him verbally some quick ideas, but I was like, I can't like create these right now during a 10-minute Q&A. So if it's okay with you, and it was, I'll do a YouTube live stream at some point in the next couple of weeks in all my spare time as I'm like about to pick up my daughter from cheer camp. I'm in the parents waiting area of cheer camp right now. And he was like, yeah, that'd be great. So here's the ideas that I came up with over the past hour, 20 minutes. Here is The first one, idea one, a bar chart. I always start with bar charts. They're nice and simple, right? And the only thing I did to jazz this one up was I added an arrow to kind of show that like the different care settings are in a logical order. They're ordinal, they're sequential. It's not just, they're not alphabetized. They do go from least to greatest by size, but that's because of the care settings too. A slight twist on that, option 2 would be a stacked bar chart, just to subtly show the percent that don't have that diagnosis. Option 3 is small multiples donuts, going across left to right with an arrow showing that it's more common in more specialized care. I feel like the non-technical people are really going to like this one, option 3. Option 4 is the same idea with waffle charts so that you get one little square per person, well, per percent of people, just to maybe subtly make it a little bit more human and help people connect. Like we're not talking about circles. We're talking about each little unit is a percent of people. The more technical people like me often like ones like this. I forget what option we're on, but whatever number we're on, 4 or 5, whatever. This is a slight variation with circles. This is the Webdings lowercase n in text boxes on the slide. It literally is this. Look, these are just n's, literal n's. Oops, meant to do this one. It's just n, 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 n with all of them grayed out and then just the percent that we care about in the darker orange color. The next idea is the more of a funnel design or a filter design. This is a newish chart type in Excel. It came out in, I think, 2018, 2019 in those updates. And of that family of charts that was released, maps, waterfalls, box and whisker, funnels, a few others, they don't have all the editing features, which is super annoying. So I spent like probably 10 or 20 minutes of my hour and 20 minutes fiddling with these text boxes. I don't love this one. I wish that the funnel was centered on the screen. I wish that the text boxes could go on top of the funnel. But it's probably more interesting than the bar chart. And I think I like this one more than the bar chart. I think the bar chart is just so boring. And I think this adds a little bit of variety. It's a little bit of a xenograph, something you don't see every single day. But what I really would want to show is a funnel like this way and this way, kind of inverted because, and I don't have that data though, but I'd really want to show like out of the general population, everybody, the biggest rectangle, the biggest denominator, this many people have the XYZ diagnosis. And then you click and it's like out of primary care, which is a smaller group, a smaller N, a smaller denominator, this many people, the numerator, have XYZ. And then you click and talk about this one and this one. These are not proportional, but like, do you get kind of the idea of either 4 separate slides for the 4 different settings or saving them as a GIF, looping them all together to put in a website? Let's see, which one's my favorite? My favorite is definitely this last one that I can't make because I don't have the numbers for it. I kind of guessed some numbers. Here's my guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. You know, maybe I will reach out to this speaker and see if he has the numbers, like as I volunteer myself for more unpaid volunteer work just for the good of the world. We'll see. TBD. All right, perfect timing. It's 2:59 p.m. Eastern. Can't pick up, which is just 20 feet down the hall, is at 3. So thank you for joining me live. Stay tuned. I'll work on these. If I work on this more, I'll do another live stream. And, you know, I try to do live streams about every week around my other deadlines and deliverables. So maybe I'll do one next week. I hope so. Bye, friends.